Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of my brand new series, Battle. So definitely check it out, but basically this is going to be a mini-series where I play Battle Spot doubles in preparation of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and more importantly, VGC 2018. So I'll be doing this series for about a month and a half or so until Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon come out, and until I can actually get a team in game and people actually have teams to battle for that. And then this will probably just turn into Road to Ranked. And the reason why this is separate from Road to Ranked is because I might still want to do some VGC 17 videos in the meantime, just because we still have a couple events left and there's some teams and strategies that I might want to feature. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode yesterday. I'm really excited to be playing this format. I think it's also going to be pretty fun because VGC 18 isn't obviously going to be entirely like this format, so I've never played Battle Spot doubles before, and it's always fun just trying out a new doubles format. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you to everyone who watched yesterday's episode, and as always, if you guys enjoy the series and want to see more, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Really flubbing my words here, it's been a while, but we're just going to jump into today's episode and look for a game. I also want to actually give credit to the creator of this team because I am using a rental team currently. This was created by a player named Coden Wild, I believe, who goes by Razor VGC, so I'll link his Twitter in the description below, as well as the global link code for this team if you want to try it out yourself. It's a really fun team, and it's got a lot of cool tricks up its sleeve. Yesterday's episode was a ton of fun, so hopefully, we get some more cool games today. So we're going to get into this one. My opponent's running a team of Mimikyu, Gigalith, Garchomp, Tapu Fini, Tornadus, and Charizard, so this is really interesting. When I kind of look at Battle Spot doubles, the first thing I kind of compare it to is VGC 15, but my opponent's team is pretty interesting because obviously, the Mimikyu, the Fini, and the Gigalith, those are all like pretty corner pieces of VGC 2017. Tornadus is something like we didn't even see much of in 2015. Like 2013 was the year Tornadus was super relevant, as well as obviously 2011. Those two formats, super good, especially with the Flying Gem. Now you don't really have Flying Gem, which, doesn't make it as good, but I suppose they could use the Flying Z move. So there is the potential Trick Room option for my opponent's end. I do have to worry about Defiant as well for my opponent, which I'm kind of concerned about. Zapdos Incineroar seems kind of decent though. My only concern is the Mimikyu, like the Trick Room component for my opponent's team, because Trick Room could easily go up. So maybe I need to lead Gardevoir just to prevent Trick Room. Zapdos seems to cover everything else pretty well. I definitely want Landers for Intimidate, and for Rock Slide Pressure. And for the last one, Aegislash is kind of tempting because even if Trick Room goes up, Aegislash has a relatively positive matchup here. I'm not the biggest fan of Incineroar. I think Fini you could definitely make a pretty solid argument for, but I want Aegislash because I need to have an answer against my opponent's team, like even if Trick Room goes up. So we're going to see how this goes. It's a pretty tricky team, I think, and my opponent's team is just super scary. But obviously, this is like literally my third game of this format. Yesterday's episode went pretty well, but I'm still really learning. I'm trying to learn as quickly as possible, but once again, one of the main reasons I'm doing this series is just to get some exposure to some of the old Pokemon that I haven't played against or with for a while. Obviously, Mega Evolutions, that's a big deal. So we see the Tornadus and Tapu Fini lead here, which is interesting. I gotta wonder if Tornadus actually has the seed, the Misty Seed, because that's definitely a combination that could exist. So Fini is going to set up the Misty Surge, and Gardevoir is going to trace the Misty Surge, so that doesn't really help. Okay, no seed from Tornadus. He totally could be Z-moved. Could totally want a Tailwind. I don't want to get, like, Z-moved. I feel like Gardevoir is pretty good in this matchup, so I'm inclined to switch Gardevoir out into Aegislash, which puts on some pretty good offensive output, and just go for a Tailwind to match my opponent's Tornadus. Although, I suppose if what I could also do, I just really don't want to give up Gardevoir early on, because Gardevoir looks really good against my opponent's team. So I think I will switch out to Tornadus in case any, a Moonblast or a Flying type attack comes out. And I'm going to go for a Tailwind just to match my opponent's Tailwind, because Zapdos will still outspeed the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini actually switches out, so I'm okay with that. Into Gigalith, okay. So this is pretty positive, I'd say, just because I am getting Aegislash into an offensive position against Gigalith, which is always pretty good. So yeah, I considered Thunderbolting the Tornadus, but then that would mean setting up Tailwind on my end would be a lot more difficult. So if I can get rid of Tornadus, Landers can come in a little bit easier. Looks like the Tornadus does go for the Tailwind, so pretty optimal turn 1, I would say. Tornadus is now in a position where it is probably going to want to switch out. So this next turn is interesting, right? Because now, Tornadus could totally go for a Protect, or it could switch out. Gigalith puts on immense pressure against my Zapdos right now, with either a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide. Just going to double check my Aegislash's stats. Aegislash, I think, should be faster than Gigalith, so I'm tempted to Thunderbolt and Flash Cat in that slot. My opponent might not be expecting Life Orb. Yeah, I think I actually really want to double into Gigalith right now. So I'm going to go for it. Because I feel like Tornadus definitely wants the Protector switch out right now. Oh. That is really cool. I hope Gigalith isn't, like, fast. Either way, I mean, I think I should just get the knockout here with Thunderbolt Flash Cannon. Yeah, nice. I mean, Thunderbolt did a lot. I'm assuming Life Orb Flash Cannon, which is super effective, definitely picks up the knockout. Swagger is really cool. Self-Swagger. Yeah, I mean, so for those that might not have followed VGC 2012 or even 2013, like, swaggering yourself used to be a relatively common strategy, especially with Cresselia. Ray Rizzo won Worlds back in 2012 with Swagger Cresselia, and you'd have Pokemon, you know, like Lumberry or, yeah, Lumberry, Persianberry on, like, Metagross, Conkeldurr, just these bulky Pokemon that you can invest a little bit more bulk in while still allowing your opponent to swagger, so... Garchomp coming in here is still pretty scary because my opponent now can go for another self-swagger. And I actually really don't have a speed advantage here. That's actually pretty concerning. I mean, you'd assume Swagger Rock Slide, right? So I kind of want to just Thunderbolt. Maybe I King Shield. I do want to knock out Tornadus because I do have the Intimidate pressure. Oh, but Garchomp would be faster than me. That's the other concern. Yeah, I forgot about that. This is actually... Oh, wait, I have HP Ice. I forgot about that. I'm going to HP Ice. And... Thunderbolt? Or do I want to just Protect? I'm going to Thunderbolt. Because this means I get a knockout on one of the two Pokemon. Okay? A miss would have been really nice there. If my opponent missed, he pretty much would have been game, I think. As long as I don't get flinched. Yep, it is Rock Slide coming out. So if I don't get flinched, HP I should just knock out. Oh, I don't get knocked out by Zapdos either. Okay, please no flinch. Okay, Zapdos flinches, which kind of sucks, but I get the more important attack off. The HP Ice here actually dunks the Garchomp. Oh, Life Orb HP Ice Aegislash. What? Brilliant, brilliant. I was like, I don't have a way to knock out Garchomp super effectively right now, and my opponent might get even 2 swaggers off. Had I not flinched, the game would have instantly been over, but I'm still in a pretty good position now, I would say. The flinch is annoying, though. But we've seen Swagger, we've seen Tailwind, I assume a flying type attack, and maybe Protect. So, I am worried, though, there's no Z move that we've seen from my opponent's end yet. And it totally could be Defiant Tornadus. I think I should King Shield this turn. And maybe I want to double Protect. Or I guess I'll just sack the Zapdos to get a free switch in into Gardevoir. Yeah. Or should I switch out? I don't want to switch out into Landorus, no, because then that would give it a Defiant boost and that would be problematic. So yeah, I think I'm just going to sack my Zapdos here and just King Shield Aegislash. Oh, my opponent just forfeits. We've had a lot of, like, early forfeits recently. I guess not a lot because I haven't played in a while, but that was kind of surprising. I don't think my opponent was in a position where he or she had lost yet. Like, Zapdos could have easily go down to Tornadus there, and Feeny pressures my Aegislash. Although, no, I guess that would have been Prankster Tornadus. We actually can't tell, right, whether it was Prankster or not, because I'm slower anyway, and Tornadus is naturally fast. But if it were Defiant, that was my concern. Although I would guess it's Prankster, given that it's going for Self-Swagger. So maybe with Landorus and Gardevoir in the back, I would have been fine. But I don't think that was a game that my opponent had like 100% loss by any means. Like, you know, I certainly had a good position, but it wasn't like I had won. So I was kind of surprised to see my opponent give up, but we take those. Like, if I'm my opponent there, I definitely go for the knockout into Zapdos to prevent either of my Pokemon from fainting, and then... you know, Feeny could still pull some magic off. I suppose it would come down to whether Feeny could knock me out, maybe with the Muddy Water, because otherwise my opponent just doesn't have enough momentum. But, you know, my opponent hadn't revealed everything up until that point, so if it was Defiant, then certainly there was a chance. And even if it weren't, like, you still play hoping your opponent assumes that. But let's talk about this game. A really interesting team. Gallade, Tapu Koko, Mimikyu. Man, everyone loves Mimikyu right now. The Hawlucha, Umbreon, and Salazzle. So that's a crazy eclectic mix of Pokemon. Umbreon's kind of cool. Fun fact, I actually played against that in the 2014 World Championships. John Hu had a set with like Yawn and Snarl, I believe. But Hawlucha here has the Unburden combination with Tapu Koko, which is quite concerning. But I could just go Incineroar Zapdos. I mean, that does allow me to fake out Thunderbolt and Tailwind immediately. I kind of like that. Gardevoir seems quite good here. Feeny is kind of tempting. Yeah, I'm still, like, obviously not very familiar with this team. Aegislash is maybe worth, but I don't know what Mimikyu set that is. Landorus, like, CB Landorus under Tailwind seems really good here. And between Landorus and Feeny, I'm gonna go Landorus. Just because I haven't played with this guy for a while. And, yeah, it seems quite good against my opponent's team. So, I don't know, my opponent has, like, one of those teams where it's like, oh, man, there are a lot of Pokemon where I'm just, like, not exactly very familiar with, and they're relatively niche Pokemon, so, you know, typically these teams, like, they try to get the advantage by hoping that your opponent, you know, just kind of doesn't really know what you're going to do, and you can snowball from that. So we do see Tapu Koko Hawlucha. Okay, that, at least I have some sense of what's coming, so we're going to see the Unburden after the Electric Seed activates. But I think that's fine. I mean, what's stopping me from fake-outing Hawlucha and Tailwinding? Not much, I think. And I'm AV Incineroar as well, so I should take an attack easily from Koko. Unless, like, a Z Electric attack knocks out Zapdos. That's my only fear, I guess. But if I get the Tailwind up, that would be really good for me. So I'm going to go for the fake-out Hawlucha, Tailwind. I think Zapdos, I would assume it to survive Gigavolt Havoc from Tapu Koko, but let's see. Flinch. It just Dazzling Gleams. Okay, perfect. I will take that. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, awesome. So that's really nice. Zapdos gets the Tailwind up. I actually don't know how fast Hawlucha is, which is kind of bad. I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt into Hawlucha and a Flare Blitz in a Tapu Koko. Yeah. Hawlucha is still faster. Okay, that was bad that I didn't know that. That's kind of annoying. I get the knockout onto Hawlucha, but Incineroar goes down. But I'd actually rather have my opponent go for the high jump kick than... I think Hawlucha gets Tailwind, right? Like, I really don't know what Hawlucha... Like, I know it's what it does, but I don't know its stats too well. Let's see if Thunderbolt knocks out Zapdos from this range. It does not, which is really good news for me, because now I just get a free switch into Landorus, and I can click the Earthquake button. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't know why I thought Hawlucha would be slower. I mean, like, typically with Unburden, you run, like, Adamant over Jolly, but Hawlucha is still pretty fast. I don't remember this Zapdos' exact speed stat, but, yeah, like, because my opponent still doesn't get any speed control off, Hawlucha, sure, gets the knockout onto Incineroar, but now what do you really do, right? Because Landorus outspeeds. All I have to do is just click the Earthquake button, and I'm going to Z-move into Gallade. There's no reason not, like, to Z-move last turn, really. So, yep, just Earthquake Thunderbolt. If Gallade protects, fine by me. One of the nice things here is, like, Electric Terrain is actually my benefit, because my Zapdos can take advantage of it, which is kind of cool. So, Gallade's going to Mega Evolve. And Mega Gallade, definitely something I want to try out a little bit more in this upcoming season. But, yeah, like, my opponent not protecting with anything right now, there's just, like, nothing... they can really do against the fact that there's no speed control up. So that's why I wanted to go for the Zapdos Incineroar lead, because, like, you almost always guarantee Tailwind with that combination. Like, anytime you have Fake Out plus something with Tailwind is just really good. Zapdos with the Z move is just incredibly strong. I expect this to knock out the Gallade with Electric Terrain up as well. So let's see if it does pick up the knockout. And... oh, wow, it actually doesn't. That's impressive bulk from Gallade. So, yeah, you know, that's why I'm playing this series, so I can get familiar to the damage calcs a little bit better, but... oh, it's Sash Koko. Okay, interesting. Still, I'd rather knock out the Gallade just because it's a more offensive threat. And we do see the Gleam come out. Okay. Zapdos actually hangs on with 1 HP. That's very fortunate. So let's see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. It's Umbreon. I'm not really sure what that's going to help my opponent accomplish. So I feel pretty good about this game. I was scared of... what was I scared of? There were some more offensive Pokemon in the back. Yeah, like, Salazzle would have been a lot more scary just because my last Pokemon is Gardevoir. Even Mimikyu could have been scary, but Umbreon is, like, the best case scenario here because I just have the Thunderbolt and Earthquake. The nice thing is I am banded, but because of Gardevoir and... oh, no, Gardevoir has Trace, not Telepathy. This one does. Okay, that's kind of concerning. Maybe I should have switched out Landorus then. and Heat Waved. In retrospect, I think that would have been better because I forgot that the Gardevoir had Trace instead of the Telepathy, which means I can't just freely Earthquake next to it. At least I think so. I remember. Okay, my opponent doesn't protect anything, so that's, yeah, really good for me. I think, like, my opponent maybe just bringing a couple synchronized activates. Yeah, like, not having Protect, you can now see why Protect is so important in VGC. Like, if you don't have Protect and you're going up against a team that has speed control like Tailwind or Trick Room, like, they'll really just be able to roll you over. So even if Coco had Protect, I still felt pretty good about my chances this game. But yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. RNG Umbreon gets paralyzed. But honestly, yeah, the lack of Protect meant that, like, Landorus just swept my opponent's entire team. So I'm pretty glad I brought that in the end, since, you know, I was considering maybe bringing Feeny. But I was like, Landorus under Tailwind would be really good against my opponent's team. And as we see, it is very, very good. The Umbreon looks like it's Assault Vest, but Umbreon not really able to do too much. I think, you know, it gets access to Snarl, Moonlight, maybe Foul Play. I don't know too much. I don't know about that one. But it's just kind of a bulky Pokemon. Yawn, you know, for Sleep Disruption as well. So, yeah, like, maybe Umbreon needed to come out in the beginning as opposed to the end, because, like, Umbreon in the late game really isn't going to be able to accomplish much. And the Hawlucha, that was scary. So, you know, I have been making a fair amount of mistakes in the games I've played so far on Battle Spot Doubles, but that's why I'm doing this series, to really learn and get acclimated with these Pokemon, since yeah, the thing is, like, as a VGC player, a lot of the times I don't really know what Pokemon I don't see in VGC really do in terms of, like, what their stats are. Sometimes I have some sense of their strategy, but I don't remember, like, their base stats exactly. So it's good for me just as a way to study up as well. But so far so good. We've, you know, won all our games. Not the cleanest in terms of, I don't know, I think I could have played better in all of them, but you know, this team is really strong, so huge credits to Razor for building this. It's really fun, and thank you to him for putting up the information online. It's really nice that players have been, you know, who have been playing Battle Spot Doubles have been making accessible resources out there for everyone. And I'm planning, like I mentioned, on doing a video so you guys can have all the resources compiled into one place and you know where to go. But we're gonna play a third game today because the episode's been pretty short. We're gonna find Matt with a really interesting team. Oh my gosh. Who remembers the crab and the crocodile? Because I do. That is totally a something we used earlier on Road to Ranked. This is definitely a Trick Room team. The Staraptor is interesting. I assume it might be Scarf, where you, like, you know, just go for the KO. And yeah, so Staraptor will go for the Scarf, go for the final Gambit, and that, like, almost always, like, guarantees Trick Room up. Wow, that makes this really interesting then, because certainly it's going to be a Rangaroo or Slowbro as a lead, with Staraptor, I think, to try to guarantee Trick Room. So what could I do? Do I want to play the Trick Room Mind Games with my own Gardevoir, like I did yesterday? I'm not as confident about that. Aegislash. Actually, I don't remember. I don't know if Staraptor's full HP stat, and this is bad because I remember using it for a casual tournament too. But I do want to lead Incineroar. Incineroar Zapdos is still kind of tempting because I have Z-move pressure. Incineroar Zapdos. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe that's not the best lead. I'm running out of time though. Aegislash, Gardevoir. Oh boy. What am I getting myself into? I really think Staraptor comes out as a lead. If not, then I actually feel pretty good because I can just double up into the Trick Room Reserve. But I think Staraptor will go for some final Gambit shenanigans right now. So what I could do is... I mean, yeah, my opponent's definitely going for, like, the Frost Breath strategy where you crit the Crocodile and just sweep. And I don't have Wide Guard, which is really bad. I think I should have come up with a better strategy to stop Trick Room. It's Bruxish and Staraptor. Well, Bruxish gets Trick Room too. Oh, I can't fake out, right? Can I fake out Staraptor because it's in the air? Like, does Bruxish's ability, is it like Psychic Terrain, or can I just not fake out at all? Well, I actually don't know. Surely Bruxish is Focus Sashed, and surely Staraptor goes for the final Gambit into Zapdos right now. It's gotta be Sashed. Yeah, so even if I faked out Staraptor, that actually wouldn't really give me much mileage. Maybe I switch into Aegislash to take the final Gambit and let Bruxish Trick Room. Okay. I'll do that. I'll Snarl and switch into Aegislash, expecting final... Although, I guess the Raptor could target Incineroar as well. I feel like you target down Zapdos here, though, but... Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get swept here. Let's see, is it Scarf? It does Final Gambit. Oh, it did target down the Incineroar. And I did hang on. Yeah, I wasn't sure of the HP stat. I knew it would knock out Zapdos. I wasn't sure about Incineroar. That's really bad. Trick Room's coming up now. And there's the Sash, yep. So if I actually stayed in with Zapdos and just Snarled and Thunderbolted, I pretty much just win the game. I'm really surprised my opponent targeted Incineroar. But maybe my opponent was just, like, not expecting the HP stat on Incineroar. Oh, boy. Yeah, like, I had to prevent Trick Room from going up. I think you probably just bring Crocodile and... Do you just Frost Breath? I think I just lose now, right? Actually, maybe not. You Frost Breath, then Earthquake. I'm assuming Bruxish gets Frost Breath, by the way. So if that's the case, I can switch into Zapdos and King Shield. Maybe I just have to cycle through Trick Room. Oh, although I can't Fake Out with Incineroar. That's a problem. I need to double check that mechanic, because that actually would have been huge. Actually, no. I mean, even if I Faked Out, yeah, like I mentioned, Trick Room would still go up. I needed to stay in with Zapdos and double target the Bruxish. Yeah, there's a Frost Breath. Ah, that's frustrating. I should have stayed in with Zapdos, I guess, but I don't really regret that play too much. Does my opponent actually knock himself out? Okay. That's actually really good. I'm not out of this yet. Incineroar, I mean, like, yeah, right now the Crocodile is obviously such a big threat. It's Life Orb as well. But I've at least stalled one turn of Trick Room successfully. Now the question is, can I stall out 4 turns of Trick Room successfully? Because I think the Crab comes in now. Oh, it's a Rangaroo! Ooh, that's huge! The reason why that's huge is because my opponent doesn't have another means of offense now. So let's clarify the situation. Crocodile's at max attack with 3 turns of Trick Room left. Can my opponent knock out both of my Pokemon right now? That's the question. I want to protect Zapdos here. Like, does my opponent just Earthquake, though? Because that totally could happen. I don't think 2 Rock Slides will knock out Aegislash either. Protecting with Zapdos is probably the safer call. But what if he does Earthquake? Okay, I'm actually not going to protect. And I'm going to double attack here. With Flash Cannon and Z move. That might have been a mistake. Oh, that's so smart. I forgot about that. Rangaroo is faster, so he can just Earthquake and Rock Slide here. Wow, that was really cool. Yeah. Unless he doesn't Rock Slide here for some reason, but you got to. Yeah, you'd imagine so. That was really bad on my end. I just forgot that combination. Like, I assumed, oh yeah, you know, Crocodile's gonna Earthquake, but if you instruct, like, you can only Earthquake or Rock Slide. Okay, but it's still not over yet. Crazily enough. So I bring out Incineroar and Gardevoir now, and I think it's basically a 50-50. I'm not sure Incineroar... Like, a Rangaroo normally only carries Psychic, so I'm not sure even my opponent can knock me out. So, like, now my opponent has... I can Fake Out the Incineroar, and the question is, do I Trick Room or just Hyper Voice? Oh, man, that was good. Does my opponent anticipate me having Trick Room? I feel like the answer is no. I'm gonna Fake Out Crocodile, and I'm gonna go for the Trick Room reversal. Yeah, I'm hoping Crocodile protects here. Because if Crocodile protects, then if my opponent doesn't get a double protect, I win. Oh man, this is intense. That was a pretty bad blunder on my end last turn, though. That definitely made it harder for me. And the reason why, like, I knew a Rangaroo gets Instruct, obviously, but I was expecting a Rangaroo to... Oh, wow, Crocodile didn't protect. Is a Rangaroo gonna... No, it just Instructs. Wait, does that still work? Oh. Okay, but now we're still kind of... So I didn't call it correctly there because I could have just faked out and hyper-voiced. Well, I did not know how that mechanic works. Do I think now that a Darkest Lariat and a hyper-voice will knock out a Rangaroo? Because now the question is, do I call a Rangaroo Trick Rooming and go for a Trick Room myself? I think surely it Trick Rooms. But does a Flare Blitz knock out Crocodile? I don't know about that one. I feel like Hyper Voice and Darkest Lariat will pick up the knockout. But I could be wrong. Today's the day of damage calcs. If Crocodile doesn't protect, then I also win. And my opponent could like make a really aggro read here. This is really intense. It's all like, yeah, my opponent's played well. I have not played as well. Oh, what? Maybe Crocodile doesn't have protect then? It's a weird episode. No, I feel like actually Oranguru will hang on from the Darkest Lariat as well. So had a Crocodile just protected there, could have been screwed. But maybe my opponent was anticipating me to just go for a Trick Room there with Gardevoir. No, never mind. I actually picked up the knockout. Okay. Wow. That was crazy. It didn't look too good to begin with. Definitely. Not the... Like, I'm not incredibly happy with how I played. And, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't in a position where, like, I wasn't in a commanding position, and nor did I feel like I made like extra good calls, but yeah, the lack of protect was just interesting. And I actually thought that like with fake out, Crocodile just flinches once, but then through instruct you actually get the knockout as well. So that was really scary. You can see how like these hard trick room teams, like they're dedicated to just really sweeping through. But that's where having fake out is really, really big. You know, being able to cycle in fake out and protect means you like... Because normally with Trick Room, it's like you get 2 turns really to attack, because like the other 2 turns you basically get to protect. So in those 2 turns, you really need to use your sweeper to attack. But because I had Fake Out and Trick Room on my Gardevoir, like Trick Room on this Gardevoir has been so good in the yesterday's episode and today's episode, just because I've been able to stop my opponent's Trick Room, and that's just like such a big opportunity, because like that sometimes those extra turns really matter. You'd imagine if I didn't have Trick Room there and Crocodile protects from my Fake Out, I just lose, because then you just Earthquake and win the game. So that was really scary, but we do end up with 3 wins today. I'm not too happy about them, just because I feel like there were some key things I didn't know and I made some mistakes, but I definitely will. Actually, do need to look up the Bruxish mechanic just because I'm curious on that, not that it actually made a difference. And yeah, the Halucha speed stat as well. So pretty happy about the wins. Not too happy about the lack of knowledge on some things, but that's why I'm doing this. I'm here to learn, and we'll see how it goes in the future. So thank you guys for watching this. As always, if you enjoyed it, please share support by leaving a like, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace.